course that the lads do is it's a 2-year full-time scholarship, to BTEC Extended Diploma in Sport, which is the equivalent of 3 A-levels. So that's your route into university. But on top of that, they get to do work-based qualifications. So they do the FA Level 1 coaching badge, the Futsal Level 1 coaching badge. And then as well as that, you get to do, get work experience opportunities with, the coaches in the Community Sports Trust team. So I think if you marry the academic qualifications, the work-based qualifications and the work experience to go with it, it really does give the scholars the tools to be work ready, or university ready. At the start it was only futsal, but I think we were always striving to try and make the course better than, each year, and all the Northwest clubs got together and decided, can we, give the lads a better playing experience, and what better to incorporate the football side into that, and I think that's been a fantastic success with the definitely in terms of recruitment, because already I've took all 20 places are taken up for September 2018-19 season, so I think that speaks for itself. I think at the start we needed to try and establish ourselves as a good education provider, and I think the second challenge after that was to sustain it really, and I think we've managed to do both. In the classroom, I think we've got one of the highest average grades out of all the football clubs in the country who do the education programme. So yeah, we're over the moon how it's going. I mean, on the pitch as well, I think we've won 4 league futsal titles, 1 11-a-side title and 2 national competitions as well. So we've had success both on and off the pitch. Nathan, since it's the first time a first-year student's ever won the award, which is I think testament to Nathan's attitude. I think since the first day he's came into the club, his attitude has been absolutely top class. I mean, he gets top grades in the classroom, and he's first on the team sheet, and I think he's well respected by all the staff and his teammates, and I think I always try and keep the lads on their toes. So I think the challenge for Nathan is obviously he's had a bit of success early with this award, but I think the challenge will be to can he keep the standards up all the way until the end of the course, and if he does that, I'll be over the moon. But I think just Nathan is an all-round person. I think he's a pleasure to coach, and he would do anything for everybody, and he's got a smile on his face, and I think for that he's certainly a pleasure to work with.
When we started it, not this level, no. Initially we had 4 applicants in the first year, and now we're looking at developing it beyond 20 within the next year or so. It's been absolutely incredible journey, and the students have enjoyed it, we've enjoyed it, and it's absolutely fantastic. A lot of people have started to take notice. We've started having interest from other universities about the courses that we run, which is always nice. And the fact that the students have all seemed to pass, they all seem to get good grades, yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. Well, we're into our 2nd year now running the top-up degree, so we'll hopefully have more students progressing that way. We've had students now going to full-time work with us, having completed the degree, so it's just a case of making sure students are actually able to use the degree in future and able to build on it. Well, this year's when it started with us initially on the level 2 programme when we were still at the college. He then finished the level 2, he came and did the level 3 with us over 2 years, the BTEC, and from there he's gone from strength to strength. He's currently getting some of the highest marks in the country on this course. He's on for a first this year at the moment. When he started, he always said he wasn't a big fan of exams, but his coursework has been absolutely incredible, so I think this suits him down to the ground, to be honest with you. To be fair to him, his work has been impeccable. He's an absolutely remarkable student, and I'm absolutely delighted that he's won this year's award.
Yeah, we've been going at it now for I think 4 or 5 years. We've got a steady bunch. It can be 24, sometimes 30. We come twice a week, every Tuesday, every Friday. The guys are like a band of brothers. Socially, they get on well. We have nights out as well as you know, the games and improving the fitness and the ball skills have come on a lot. Yeah. After the game, we're here for about nearly an hour afterwards, having a cup of tea and a biscuit, and reminisce about days when they played running football, although most of them still run now, and what's going on in the town. And sometimes we have away trips, playing competitions away, and we occasionally have nights out and a Christmas do, and there's loads of banter and people mickey taking, as you would expect. When we first started, which seems a long time ago now, it was a step in the dark, and we thought, well, perhaps it won't kick off. But yeah, it's popular. People talk about it when you're out around town. I think it's the biggest growing sport in the country, so I've heard. All of them contribute. We have guys, treasurers, we have a social secretary, we're still in the National Cup. So yeah, any of the lads, they all do the bit, they all enjoy it. The winner of this year's award is a character. He embraces everything that walking football has to offer. He comes twice a week regularly. He brings all sorts of extras. His fitness has improved. His touch, his distribution, really good. He comes a long way. He comes from the west coast of Cumbria. He's Carlisle United daft. His name, I'm not Bing Crosby, but his name is Bob Hope. He's the winner.
They're vitally important for people's well-being. You've got one or two lads that I know of that have come down to football. Since coming down to football, it's contributing to their well-being tenfold, because at some point most of the lads have been in the bedrooms for many months, and isolating themselves, not getting to see a soul in the community, and now they've come down to football. It's contributed to them getting out, doing other things as well, as well as football. They've got into other groups, other organisations, and it's built the confidence up. It's built exercise. It's been great for exercise. A lot of people have benefited from that. Likes of Neil, who obviously says that if he didn't have the football, because he was worried about his weight and stuff, and he says that now his weight's coming down with the exercise. He feels better himself. He feels more positive, and he's got a positive outlook in the future. He can look ahead now, where at one point he wouldn't come down because of how he felt and how he looked to people, and that his appearance and that. So that's one example of how it's helped people. It's like an outlet for people. If they didn't have that, they would struggle. They would isolate themselves. We wouldn't know we had them in the community, because you just wouldn't know. They wouldn't come out of the house. They wouldn't even get on a bus. They wouldn't attend any public setting or anything. So it's all about confidence and about making them feel part of something. Yes, so I can vouch for Reeve. He was in his bedroom for 3 years before getting diagnosed with autism, with ASD, autism spectrum disorder, and obviously he's got OCD as well. And at that time, he never came out of his room once. He had the blinds shut, he had a pair of curtains on, and then he put a towel on extra to block out anybody from the outside. He wouldn't speak to anyone on the phone. The only thing that he did start doing was getting onto his PlayStation and speaking to people via online. That was the only sort of source of communication he had with the public. So that was another help. That's helped Reeve come to the football, and he's much more confident in himself, as you can see. You know, his body posture's better. He feels better about himself. He loves supporting others as well. That's what he gets a lot out of that. You know, he's helped some of the other lads less fortunate. He's brought them on a bit in themselves as well. So if it wasn't for the football, it's been a huge contribution to his well-being. He wouldn't be out of the house, to be fair.
You see them, each student develop in different ways. You know, some take more from maybe the action adventure phase at the start. Some maybe take more from the independent living stage. So yeah, they surprise you all the time with the skills they're putting together. Maybe practical, maybe personal. But when you see them go on that journey, it's really surprising. Especially when you see, like I mentioned, those young people coming out the other end of the programme. And we've had a few go on to put back in the community. We've had former participants of the programme then come back and work as volunteers and work for the NCS programme within the trust. So it's fantastic. The skills that you gain aren't just practical skills. It's social skills. It's things to put on your CV. It's things to go towards your career. It might be something to do with the university. It might be something to do with practical in-work apprenticeship ideas. It's multifaceted. So everybody gets something a little different out of it, like we mentioned. So I definitely recommend it to, you know, if you're 16, 17 years old. Nathan, just from the word go, just got involved with everything. Just right from day one, from adventure phase into the second phase, social action phase, he just threw himself into everything wholeheartedly. It didn't matter what the challenge was, he just went for it and showed an absolutely unbelievable attitude towards applying himself and maximising an experience. And hopefully he found it as rewarding for himself as I did watching him go through his journey. So it was really good to watch him on that.